the habit, the invisible force that shapes our lives. From a young age, we hear phrases like, "We are creatures of habit," or "Repetition is the key to success." But what is behind these statements? Why do our habits have so much power over our daily lives? William James, in his work The Principles of Psychology, devoted an in-depth analysis to the role of habits in our behavior and well-being. According to him, habits are the key to understanding why we do what we do and how we can improve our lives for the better. What is a habit? A habit is an action we perform automatically and repetitively without having to think too much about it. It is the result of constant repetition of a behavior until it becomes second nature. For example, when we learn to ride a bicycle, at first it is hard to maintain balance and coordinate movements, but with practice we pedal effortlessly without thinking about each detail. James explained that habits not only affect our physical actions but also our emotions, thoughts, and responses to the world. From the way we react to stress to how we treat others, our habits determine much of our life. How are habits formed? The process of forming habits follows a well-defined pattern, a stimulus or signal. Something triggers the behavior, for example, feeling anxious. A response or action. We perform the habitual behavior, for example, biting nails. A reward. We receive an immediate benefit, for example, relieving anxiety temporarily. The more we repeat this cycle, the stronger the habit becomes. James compared this process to a river carving its path in the land. The more water flows along a path, the deeper it becomes, making it difficult to change its direction. The power of habit. In daily life, James emphasized that habits can be both positive and negative. Examples of positive habits include exercising regularly, reading every day, practicing gratitude, sleeping at the same time each night. On the other hand, negative habits can affect our health and well-being, such as procrastinating on important tasks, overeating due to anxiety, constantly checking our mobile phones, reacting impulsively to problems. The good news is that habits can be changed. As James explained, our repeated actions strengthen certain circuits in the brain, but they also give us the ability to create new patterns. How to create positive habits and eliminate negative ones? If habits are so powerful, how can we use them to our advantage? James proposed several strategies for building better habits. Start with small changes. Rather than trying to change drastically overnight, it is more effective to start with small, achievable steps. If we want to read more, we can begin with just 10 minutes a day. Repeat the action every day. Consistency is key. The more we repeat a behavior, the stronger the habit becomes. Eliminate obstacles. If we want to eat healthier, we can ensure that fruits and vegetables are easily accessible at home, rather than junk food. Use reminders and signals. Associating a habit with a signal helps reinforce it. For example, leaving workout clothes ready the night before can make it easier to exercise in the morning. Replace negative habits with positive ones. Instead of simply trying to quit a bad habit, it's easier to replace it with another. For example, if we want to quit smoking, we can replace the cigarette with an activity like chewing gum or taking a walk. Be patient and flexible. Forming a new habit takes time. James emphasized that behavioral change doesn't happen immediately, but repeated action makes it inevitable. The importance of habits. In personal development, James believed that our lives are not defined by isolated big events, but by the sum of our daily actions. Habits are the true architects of our destiny. If we want to improve our life, we need to pay attention to our small, everyday actions. It's not about waiting for a grand transformation overnight, but focusing on building habits that bring us closer to the person we want to become. As James said, our whole life, insofar as it has a form, is nothing but a mass of habits. Conclusion: habit is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. What we do repeatedly not only shapes our behavior, but also our identity and quality of life. If we want to grow and evolve, we need to learn to take control of our habits. As William James taught, the key to change lies in the conscious repetition of small actions that, over time, become second nature to us. We are not slaves to our habits. On the contrary, we have the power to design them and use them in our favor. And if we manage to master our habits, we can transform our lives in a profound and meaningful way.